All right, so we continue the 2020 second round playoff previews as we are taking a look in the Eastern Conference here today. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. We'll be taking a look at that series in this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. And let's take a look at this matchup between the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we are in for a great series here between probably the two top teams in that Atlantic Division, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. Now, we were kind of snubbed of this series last year when the Columbus Blue Jackets kind of shocked the world, knocking off the Tampa Bay Lightning. Everybody assumed it would be Boston and Tampa in the second round last year. That didn't end up being the case, so we're in store for a great series this year between these two very solid Atlantic Division teams. You've got the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have plenty of issues. Victor Hedman, he's back, which is good news. Steven Stamkos is still not back, which is definitely disappointing. He's probably going to be out for the rest of this year's playoffs. But Victor Hedman, as long as he's healthy, that's going to be huge in this series against that really solid top line for the Boston Bruins. As long as David Pastrnak comes back for the Bruins, that's going to be huge for the Bees. Looking up front, both teams very solid up front. Again, Pastrnak being in that equation for the Bruins is a huge factor. But the Tampa Bay Lightning have some really solid depth up front. That's something they worked on this past offseason, and at the trade deadline, picking up guys like Blake Coleman and Barclay Goodrow. That depth has really solidified the forward core there for the Tampa Bay Lightning. The defensive core looks very solid as well for the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's definitely taken a hit over the years, but Mikhail Sergachev being back there, Victor Hedman, those are the key guys there. Ryan McDonough, that's a pretty solid blue line for the Bruins to match up against. And for the Bruins, you've got Charlie McAvoy, Zdeno Chara, and a couple of the young guys that have started to come up for the Bruins. That's a pretty good blue line. But once again, definitely taken a hit over the past couple of years. Up front for the Bruins, looks pretty solid as well. Again, they seem to be a little bit more top-heavy, but David Krejci, listen, he's been playing very well. He's actually leading the Boston Bruins in points here in the offseason. He's got 9 points in the postseason this year, so he's really playing well. He's back-checking and winning puck battles. He just looks very solid for the Boston Bruins. That's going to be huge in this series. They really need him to step up. That could at the end of the day be the difference maker in this series. As crazy as that sounds, David Krejci, but really the depth is going to be huge for the Boston Bruins. They need to make sure they step up. Jake DeBrusk as well, Patrice Bergeron, Marchand, Pastrnak, as long as he's healthy, like I said. So that's going to be pretty big. Goaltending matchup, you've got Andrei Vasilevskiy and Yaroslav Halak, as Tuukka Rask has left the bubble due to personal reasons. Hopefully everything is okay with him and his family. But Yaroslav Halak, I mean, he's been a hot goaltender, and we've seen him do this in the past. He did it with the Montreal Canadiens back in the day, dragging them all the way to the Western Conference Final, or it might have even been the Cup Final. So he has done this before. He is a lot older since that happened, but who knows? It could happen. Andrei Vasilevskiy, I believe he has like a .927 save percentage in the postseason, so he's looked pretty solid. And the Tampa Bay Lightning did a good job at keeping the Columbus Blue Jackets at bay, a pretty gritty, aggressive team. You're going to kind of see that here from the Boston Bruins. So they have been able to match up against that. The Boston Bruins are a whole nother level, though, in terms of the skill in that top 6. No knock on the Columbus Blue Jackets, but it is definitely different. And this is going to be a great series. Picking who's going to win this series, honestly, in my heart, I really want to see Tampa get to that Eastern Conference Final. I really like what they have, considering losing their captain Steven Stamkos. Hedman's had some injuries. Just the controversy that's been around that team for the last decade, pretty much, really. So, it would be nice to see the Tampa Bay Lightning go on to the Eastern Conference Final. As much as I like the Boston Bruins as well, Zdeno Chara isn't getting any younger. So this is going to be a very good series, but I just think Andrei Vasilevskiy, he's a very good goaltender. They are motivated there in Tampa Bay, and they've got the juices flowing. I think it's going to be hard for the Boston Bruins to beat these guys. I think it takes 7 games to win this series for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I think the Tampa Bay Lightning get things done in Game 7. So comment down below. What do you think my predictions for this series? What are your predictions for this series between the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.